Hello there, welcome to another Science Mr. Robertson video coming up, and now it is specialised cells. Let's start off with you. When you were first born, what we have when the sperm and egg, I'll come back to them, come together, they make one cell. From that one cell, it splits into two identical cells, exactly the same as each other. And then to 4, and then to 8, and it keeps going and it keeps going until it makes us. Now, I'm specialised. The cells here are very different than the cells up here, than the cells down here, than the cells that are around my wherever. I have very, very different cells for very different jobs. They are specialised, I say. If I go back and I take these here, when I have about 8 cells, and I'm still, well, your mother wouldn't even know you were alive yet. Old. I could take one of those, and that cell could be anything. That cell could be my eye, be my nose, be my elbow, whatever. It is not yet specialised. Those cells at the very beginning are called stem cells. We believe now they could be the future of science in the 21st century. Because they can be anything, these cells. So, if something's not working, could I use a stem cell to fix it? If, for example, I have diabetes because I don't make any insulin, could I put a stem cell in, put it into my pancreas which makes insulin, and could that maybe, try and be a perfect, healthy bit of pancreas so it might start making insulin? Or I could maybe use it for my nerves. If some of my nerves have got damaged, if I have broken my neck and I cannot feel anything down my body, could a stem cell go in and grow and build a new cell? There's a lot of research about it. It's one of the most exciting bits of science we're looking at right now in the world. These specialised cells. Now, there's a few examples, and I'll go through just a few of those quickly. And let's start off with, I've already talked about them, our sperm and our egg. Now, that's actually not the worst sperm drawing I've drawn here. Remember, our egg is going to be, firstly, huge in comparison to the sperm. That probably doesn't do it justice. But the sperm cell is very small and very light. That's important. We've had to make evolution work, so sperm are awesome and the eggs are awesome. Our sperm has the DNA right at the front, as well as, would you believe it, an enzyme. And that enzyme, of course, only has one job, and that job is to break and destroy a little bit of that egg cell wall, which is very hard to get into. Only the sperm can get into that egg cell. And of course, it has here lots of mitochondria. So it has lots of chance to get lots of energy to move its long tail as it swims through the canals inside the female. So big tail, lots of energy, and this enzyme here to get into this egg cell, which of course is huge. But of course it has to be huge. It has to contain lots of material for making all the new cells at the start of life, and also just lots of energy itself to power lots of that. So very important to have big healthy egg cells and super agile sperm. I can also talk a bit more about other things we have in humans. So we have some of the most important cells, I would argue, are the red blood cells. I should probably switch to a red pen. Red blood cells are quite crazy. They're a little bit like donut shape, if you can imagine. They're like a little bit more like, they go in a bit in the middle. And then all of this here is a bit more kind of like that, I guess. Basically, they have a huge surface area. That means there is more place on the outside of that red blood cell to take in more oxygen, to give out more oxygen. So much surface area there that it's fantastic for the red blood cells to keep going, keep giving oxygen. Remember, these are the oxygen-giving cells in the body. Also, that there is just a part of the shape. There is no nucleus in the red blood cell. Red blood cells can't copy themselves, and actually to make really, really healthy red blood cells, they actually come from inside your bones. It means red blood cells don't live very long. You have to keep making more red blood cells. That's why iron is super important for your diets. But there's no nucleus. And the reason for that is to make sure there is more space for even more oxygen. It's a crazy adaptation. It has no code. It can't make itself. We have to do that over and over again elsewhere in the body. But it means when we need oxygen, we can get it as fast as possible. So we can power our brains and power our muscles. Super, super, super important. I could also talk for a second about our nerves, because I love how our nerves are so incredibly adapted to be super, super good at their job. And this is crazy drawing, but it gives some idea. Firstly, they are incredibly long. They will go from one bit of the body all the way through to the other, through just one cell. Because remember, these cells work by having these little electrical currents that pass through. And with those electrical currents, it's much faster to go from here with electricity rather than passing from one to the next, and keep going. It's much, much better to have one long cell. And then at the end here, you've got all these little like stick things sticking out, because they take the signals to wherever they go. There's lots of signal connections. And that means whatever you need that cell to do, whatever impulse, whatever ow or oh it's hot or whatever's going on in those nerves, it can find the right bit of your brain or your nervous system to send the signal to. Absolutely vital. We need really effective nerves to be as fast as possible. Cell specialization is all about making them the best possible human being. Some examples here, some examples more probably do in class, but we'll leave that there for now. Thank you very much.